so bored. What could I do? I could maybe play games, play basketball, maybe go for a run. Wait, I got it. I know exactly what to do.
Plug.
But what the hell?
Plug.
What is goody? YouTube, today we're not doing any pre-movie activities. We are going straight to the movie because it starts in 45 minutes. This was a last minute thing. To be honest with you, I was not planning on going to a movie, but you know I love a good movie on a Tuesday for cheap, okay? Now I already know, I've heard the movie's trash. Right? It's not what people think it is. But we're gonna go find out and see for ourselves because it's my day off. Now I'm someone who loves a good movie and I'm gonna keep it $1.50 with you, okay? If I don't like a movie, I'm gonna say it's trash. I don't like it, I don't like it. Now in my previous movies, I saw Superman, five stars. 10 out of 10, whatever you wanna give it. It was a really good movie, perfect, okay?
Demon Slayer, I'm gonna give it like 4.5 out of 5, right? Just because of the fact that it was so long for so little, right? And that's not a bad thing, you know? It's just, damn, 3 movies? You know, obviously the next movie is gonna be better than this one, so it's gonna be insane.
Anyways, we're on to the Him movie by not Jordan Peele, but apparently he's a part of it. I don't even know. We're gonna figure that out. And we're gonna go see the movie. So, bye.
Look at this dude. Wait till you see the...
It's new. Last I checked, I'm the only one in this theater. So unless somebody made the same idea as me and bought that mess last minute, I got a solo dolo theater. Let's find out. I ain't got no food. I'm hungry. I'm not buying that mug, boy. I'm not buying food, brother. 1, the line's extra long. Okay. 2, food's too expensive, and I'm not doing that. I can be hungry. I'm gonna hold my hunger. Me in the corner. Movie reveal. Coming. All right. Well, that's me right there. G18. 4 people.
Wait, there's a peanut inside me?
The experience. On Marcus Theater's big screens, your product, service, or message be part of the...
My goodness, it is beautiful today. Wow, it's hot. It was cold in that theater, not gonna lie. Just finished the movie, and my initial reaction from finishing that movie, holy mid. Holy mid. Oh my goodness. Okay. Going into this movie, I kind of knew that it was not going to be good just based off of the TikToks I saw. Still, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know any spoilers for the movie or anything. Given the overall premise of the movie, I can see the plot. I can see the story. I can see the meaning. And I can see how interesting it could come off, right? But just the way it was made, right? Just not good. Just not good. It just wasn't good. There was like there's nothing to it. It sounds weird, but there's just nothing to the movie at all. Like during the whole movie, I'm writing down in my notes app what I want to talk about because there's so much going on, but none of it means anything. You know, it's just random stuff that's supposed to all build up to this one meaning of how everything is just, you're supposed to risk everything and how much you're willing to risk. And it's like, what's the plot? You know, there's like no background, anything, you know? Like walking you through the movie, right? It starts out with him being a little kid looking up to this savior, right? First of all, their team name is the Saviors. That's just weird. Why is your team based off of like this being a savior? Like that's just weird. That's obviously it's for the movie, right? Obviously that's not ever going to be a real thing, but that's just weird. And obviously he's looking up to him 8 times. You are not better than Tom Brady. Stop it. Stop it. First of all, you are not going to do 8 championships, okay? To start, I mean, I can see where he grew up with his dad basically being very helicopter, not helicopter, right? His dad was basically very, very on him about being a football player, about guts and glory, about being a real man, right? And that's very toxic. First of all, that's very toxic masculinity, and I don't really like that. And I really hope I never end up being like that one day. You know, I don't want to put my kids in situations that like I put them into it. They didn't even have a choice. They can't like even learn or anything. It's just they have all this expectation on them. No, we're not doing that. But yeah, basically he's a star recruit, football player, whatever. And his dad died. They never explained how, but he was in service, I'm pretty sure. And he's just training or whatever. He's on this field, right? Oh, by the way, I'm referring to Cam. Okay, so I'm going to start saying Cam. Cam was on this field training at night, whatever. He hits the field goal post and it just starts ringing. It just starts ringing. There's no reason to why it's ringing, right? And then out of nowhere, in the background, this is goat head mask, something smacks him in the head and he goes unconscious, right? Now, they never explained why that happened. They never explained who it was. But I'm guessing it's insinuated that it was the CEOs of the franchise, the Saviors, and I'll get back into that later. But yeah, basically the whole premise is he's got this, throughout the whole movie, he keeps having this thing with his head, and he's got the stitches. It looks like the laces of a football, kind of. And he's got these stitches because somebody blunt force traumaed his head. And this is all right before the combine, right? And they're all the media is like, oh, is he going to be a good quarterback? He's not doing the combine, da, 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 da. But right before, I don't even know if this was before he was doing the combine or not, he's in this tunnel. And then he looks in the background, there's this weird fan with this sombrero, this shiny sombrero, and his face mask all over him. And he runs up to him, and he signs his forehead.
What the hell?
What was the reason?
I don't know.
You just throw in random stuff, and there's no plot, there's no reason behind it. Like, you're just throwing random things at me, and I'm just supposed to like, oh yeah, that makes sense. No. You're just, it means nothing. It means nothing. So after all that, he goes to a house party, whatever. His brother ran to him, pulled a hammy doing it. Didn't really mean anything to the story. Then he proceeds to get a call from the higher-ups for the Saviors Foundation, or whatever they are, and then basically he wants to get trained by the GOAT himself. I'm going to call him Marlon Wayans because I don't know what his name was in the thing. And then, yeah, he basically gets dropped off at this place in the middle of the desert. I don't know if it's like his house, a training facility. Is it the Saviors something? I have no idea because they don't tell you. They don't tell you what's going on. They just show it to you. I hate that. I actually hate that. So they're at this random looking weird architecture complex in the middle of the desert, right? And this is where Marlon Wayans is. And basically it's just drawn with weird art. Okay, there's just random things on the wall, weird art. He's working on some like dead deer carcass or whatever, and then he asks him like, oh, did you kill it yourself? And he just completely bypasses it, right? There's no reason as to why he was working on a dead deer. There's no like back story of like, oh, this is tied to this. It was just random. It's just randomly he's working on dead deer, right? So there's no deeper meaning to that. And then a lot of the part, they were just in this like field room, and he's like throwing the ball and he's doing all these things with these receivers and quarterbacks. It's just weird stuff. Okay. It's just training, but it's just like off-putting, and it's just a weird vibe going on. And then he's like, oh, drop your drawers so we can do the physical or whatever. And then he's like, why are your underwear off or something after? It's like, you literally said drop your drawers. Like, you're just being random, annoying. You're being contradictive. It's just, as a viewer, it's just annoying to watch because like, this doesn't even make sense. Like, I'm just watching nothing. Mind you, while he was getting the physical, Marlon Wayans smacks his peach, right? Just a good old, and it was just like, whoa, pause. Can we time out, ref? Throw the flag. What are we doing? And then they go on this run on day 2, and I'm gonna get into the days thing because that was also very weird. So day 2, they're going on a run, and it's in the middle of the desert. He gets heat exhaustion or whatever, and he's just laying there. And then there's this mascot above him, and it's gonna swing at him, and it's got this like pickaxe thing. And it's like, is that a hallucination? Is that actually happening? Why are they trying to like what's going on? They don't really explain, but I'm pretty sure he was hallucinating. It's just weird. And then after that, they go back to a throwing session. And then this dude's like, oh, I got you, dude. And he voluntarily goes up to the shooting machine for the footballs, and literally it's like 70 miles an hour getting shot right at his nose. Bruh. If Cam messes up. And it's like, one, why are you so eager to get footballs thrown at your face? And two, why are we doing this? Three, what's the point? They never explain what he's trying to do, because it's like this time limit thing, and it's like he's throwing it and he's getting it off or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what I'm watching, because they're not explaining anything. They're showing it to you. Basically, oh, you got to be hard. You got to be able to put everything on the line. Show everything you got. It's like, just explain something. Explain something. And since the start, I thought it was like day 1, day 11, day 111. And I'm like, bruh, this was supposed to be like a week-long training camp. Like, why is he still there for 111 days? And then they get to day 4, and it's 1V. So now it's Roman numerals, and I look goofy. But even mind that, why are you making it confusing? Okay, how am I supposed to know it's Roman numerals when you're using day? Like, day 2? It looks like an 11. And then Cam's like getting all worked up about being weak, and then his head's hurting and whatever. So then he's doing all these dodges, and all these people are running at him. And then he cracks a dude, like head on, boom. And then he's like shaking on the ground or whatever, right? They don't explain what happened to that guy. They don't explain if he died. They don't explain the reason of the drill. But then they all hug around, and he's like, I found you. I found you. There you are. Like, that's what he's been looking for, like him to get aggressive or whatever. And they all just hug around him, and then they start singing this song, and then the dude's still laying on the ground. He's in the middle. It's like, that's just weird. What are we doing? And then there was this sauna scene, which is literally like one of the weirdest scenes in the movie. Because before that, these weird, I don't even know, they're like fans of the Saviors, and they're in the back, like looking through a window somehow. And then they somehow find a way into the sauna. They don't explain how they got in there. You know, it's like pretty big house, this facility. And you'd think that there'd be like security or like someone to be able to watch and see what's going on. And they just somehow got in. And one of them is literally hiding under the seat in the sauna. And the other two are in the lobby outside the sauna, which is also really weird. Why is it like dark, a dark room, and then the entrance to the sauna? That's just weird. But yeah, basically she goes in there. She's going to kill him with a rock. And then he wakes up, chokes her out. And then Marlon Wayans is there. I don't even know. She like wakes up or something and then runs at him. And then he like makes out with her and then throws her against the wall and breaks her skull. Bruh. And then the two little goat things that were with her, the people that were all painted white, they're like acting all weird and they're comforting her and stuff. And he's like, oh, wasn't that awesome? Marlon Wayans was like that. And he's like, oh, wasn't that awesome? I don't know. Yeah, this is a thrill or whatever. It's like, you guys were just in the sauna. Why is this random fan in here? Why did she die? Why did you make out with her? Like, it's just a bunch of random events that don't mean anything, and they're just weird. They're just weird. And then after the sauna, Marlon Wayans' wife just, like, throws this weird party. And then Cam wakes up the next morning, and Marlon Wayans is just sitting there. Did you? Her? Did you? Her? And I'm like, who? Who? Because they never showed him sleeping with anyone. They never showed him doing anything. But Marlon Wayans is just accusing him or asking him about something. And it's just like, how am I supposed to understand the movie if you are not giving me anything? Please, something. So now we get to day 4, which is where I realized it. And he's like on this shooting range doing whatever. Shoots this random mascot. Apparently someone was in it. They don't explain if somebody was, why they're shooting in the first place. Like, they're just literally shooting random targets. And it's like jerseys, blood, and skulls, whatever. It's like, why? So they're just shooting these things. They pull out this mascot. He's like, is that all you got? And then, yeah, and then he shoots him dead. Whoa. Before he shot the random mascot dude that did die, he's talking about, oh, I wager if you hit him, right? Marlon Wayans wagered, if you hit him, I will give you anything you want. The luxury, the lifestyle, house, cars, girls, whatever you want, I got you, right? But if he misses, I'm gonna take your youth. I'm gonna take your youth.
Oh my God!
what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, right? Because they don't explain it. They do not explain what he means by taking his youth. And then Cam's like, nah, I want to earn it. I don't want any handouts, none of that. If I hit it, you gotta, I don't even remember. I don't remember. But he ends up shooting him and kills him, whatever, right? Plug. Taking your youth. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? So long story short, he gets accepted by the franchise or whatever. I don't know. They just moved, like, he was into camp, and then now he's, like, getting signed, or he's at the party or whatever. I don't know if that's still at the ceremony or if that was somewhere else, but, like, I don't know. I think it was at the same training complex that they were at, but it was like this big party with everybody. Also, it must be the training complex for the Saviors, because why is everybody there? That can't be his house. But then Marlon Wayans, like, has rooms there. That's where he lives. That's, like, his house. But then there's, like, all the Saviors stuff. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Like, do all these people live in your house? Is this even your house? They don't tell you. They just make you think, and it's annoying. So yeah, they have this big party. His wife kills someone, and you don't know who it is until, like, you see the medicine dude. The dude who was, like, the trainer for Marlon Wayans. It's his head. Yeah, she was cutting off his head. And it's apparently for the sacrifice. For whatever sacrifice it is, I'm guessing, to get the new quarterback, they have to sacrifice either the old one or they're going to lose, and then they re-sign the old one. It's just stupid, okay? And yeah, basically he had to die for the sacrifice, so she cut him off during the party. And then Cam's just tweaking. I think he was under the influence, or like he got drugged or whatever. So he's just like tweaking, and then he comes to his senses, and yeah, he basically like, oh, I'm gonna go find Marlon Wayans. He finds him in his room watching film, and the film is like literally something up in the like the ceiling of just like fans, and then this black hole in the center. And I'm just saying random things because that's literally what it was. It was just random things. And then long story short, he beats Marlon Wayans. He walks out the tunnel. Now he's the new quarterback, right? He just has to sign the contract, and it's like the 5 officials of the team, and then it's his Marlon Wayans' wife or whatever, and they're all just sitting there, and he's like, sign the contract, and he's all bloody and stuff, right? Cam is. So he doesn't want to sign the contract. And now it's like, oh, you're going to mess up the ritual, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no. And they're threatening they're going to kill his family. He's like, I don't care. And then he doesn't sign the contract, right? And then you find out that he's been being groomed his whole life by one of the officials who was in a picture with him and his dad when he was a kid. And they said that they've been grooming him his whole life to make sure that he can become this quarterback and take over as the GOAT. And it's just stupid. And then he's going to kill them all, and then the girl's like, oh, I'll just do it myself. So she gets up and then falls on her own self and stabs herself. Bruh. Goofy, right? And then he goes on this killing spree, killing all 5 of the execs in weird ways, except for one of them. He saves one of them. That one gets pulled to the center of this, like, satanic ring. And then, yeah, I think it was just the devil pulling him there or whatever. And then Cam's walking down the tunnel. And then you see in the background the dude blows up, basically. I'm guessing it was the ritual or whatever. I don't know, but that's how it ends. It ends with one of the execs blowing up and the dude walking away. So you don't know what happens after that. You don't know if he becomes a quarterback, what happens to the franchise, what happens to his family. Does he continue football? You don't know anything. It's just this random story about how he became the GOAT and then dropped it and just killed all these people. And it was kind of dumb. So, like, overall, the imagery of the movie was kind of cool. I will say that, but it was just random imagery. It didn't really have any meaning. It didn't have any plot. It was just random things that they can make look cool, but didn't really do anything story-wise. And it's frustrating. I was really expecting something a little better, but it just wasn't good. It just wasn't good. And you can have your own take on the movie, whatever, but I'm gonna stand on that. That was not good. I did not like it at all, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's my take on the movie Him. I would give it a 1 out of 5 stars. Maybe 0.5 out of 5 stars. It just, mentally, it just doesn't, I don't like it. I don't like it. It was just weird. It was cool cinematography at times, but then again, it's like, you can't really have cinematography without a purpose, and there was just no purpose. There's no purpose to the movie. Cool story, cool concept, could have been done way, way, way better in the right hands. And yeah, that's my take. That's my movie review. So hopefully you are still watching at this point, right?